Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author of fantasy romance and romantic fantasy. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Have to guzzle that. So let's see. Today is Friday, March 5th. And it appears that Western civilization is still intact. I believe Trump remains the former disgraced 45th president rather than the newly re-inaugurated 19th president. I guess that's what it was supposed to be. I don't think anything happened yesterday, at least nothing big enough to impinge upon my careful bubble. So hopefully that's the case. So I don't know what's going on with you guys. I do not know that I have much to say. I've written 12,000 words this week on Sorceress Queen, which means that my brain is a little bit empty. Very much hoping to get another 3,000 today, despite the SEFWA board meeting this morning. It's 7:30 now, so if I get this recorded, and then I should be able to get in an hour of writing, and then I can do all the video processing, setting things up during the meeting. The advantage of Zoom meetings is I can multitask, which one of my bosses at my former day job, because I did work from home for a very long time, worked for that company for 18 years, and one of my bosses would get really annoyed with people for multitasking on conference calls, because his whole theory, and it's a sound one actually, I mean, I didn't disagree with him, was he said there is no such thing as multitasking. You're paying attention to something else. And we had a lot of people in satellite offices, and it was a frustration to him that he could not make us pay 100% attention to the meeting. Of course, it's a fallacy to think that just because you have people sitting there in the conference room and that you're not letting them look at their phones or their computers, that they're still paying 100% attention to you. Because we always have our brains, right? We go into other worlds. So earrings today, ones that I've had for a very long time. This is probably true of many of my earrings. Do I say that about all of them? Probably. I don't remember where I got these earrings, but they're really kind of fun. They are thin plastic rectangles that are purple with a sunflower on them. And then there's a little sunflower emblem hanging off the bottom too. And the back is like this black and white abstract design. So I think theoretically they're reversible, but like I've never reversed them. I think I picked them up at a festival, like a festival or some town where we were touring, something like that. Who knows? Anyway, I've always thought that they were fun. They're very, very light, which is nice. I was trying to remember, my mom complained at some point during my life, as she started to get older, that her holes were stretching. And she ended up, I think we tried re-piercing one of them, didn't we? That was probably ill-advised. I don't think I did a very good job. There was much shrieking involved. But anyway, I've often remembered my mom bemoaning the fact that she wore such heavy earrings in like the 80s when we did that, and stretched out her earlobe holes. Was that what did it, Mom? I don't think I remember the details on all of that. So I almost sat outside this morning. I know that I was already sitting outside and recording by this time last year, because I remember talking about the pandemic and pending lockdown from outside. but we've had a cooler spring. And I did go try it this morning, and it's cool and breezy out there. So, but that's good. That's good for fire season. Better to have a cooler spring. Uh, and also, I think I'm recording earlier because I've definitely moved up my timing because I'm kind of got that hard deadline with meeting Dorinda now, which is good. So I don't, futz around. But yeah, I think that it's a combination of those things. So we'll see. It wasn't quite warm enough to sit out there yet. So inside we are. I'm still wondering how that's going to work with the bright sunlight, but we shall see. So I know I had other things to talk about, and I don't know what they are. Yesterday got busy. For those of you taking my class, sorry I didn't get to reply. We had a little bit of an aquarium crisis, as happens. David has a freshwater tank, and he was cleaning it out, and he broke the glass lid. And my mother's birthday is coming on Tuesday, and I was wanting to go to this one store and get this one thing that I had planned to get her for her birthday. And so I said, well, let's just run out and do those errands. And so we went to the one shop, which is just this great shop in Santa Fe that's got all sorts of stuff from local artists. So I got her that gift. I'm going to be packing that up and sending it to you, Mom. Unless you just want me to bring it in April, because we are coming to visit in April. We should talk. Yeah, yeah. Let's think about what you want. Got a little lipstick smudge there. Lost my train of thought. Oh, and then we went to Petsmart, which turned out not to have the thing we needed. Their shelves were incredibly bare. I don't know if that's like pandemic or what, but they didn't have a lot of stuff. Alas. So he also wanted to get like some decorative rocks for the bottom, but like those big things are like $50 each. It just seems ridiculous to spend that for a fish tank decoration. So I, I was telling him, surely there's like secondhand aquarium stuff online or something like that. If you guys know of, I don't know, places where you can get cheaper aquarium stuff, let me know. I would be interested in that. And then someone needed a ride down to Albuquerque Airport, so I gave her a ride down. And yeah, time got away from me, but I will be replying to stuff today. Today is the day to get all the things done, all the things. Gonna try to get my 3,000 words, do this board meeting, work on page proofs, and deal with class, give you guys some feedback, and post a new lesson. It's looking like a busy weekend too. I'm teaching that workshop on Saturday. I mentioned that yesterday, just on romance genres and subgenres through Southwest Writers. If you are part of that group, they're based out of Albuquerque. And then on Sunday, I think we're going to go golfing. It's supposed to be a very nice day, so we're going to see if we can go do 9 holes of golf. It's a really pretty golf course and gets us out in the sunshine, a little bit of exercise. So hopefully that'll work out okay. And I also have to clean the house and finish page proofs. So, plus a dozen other things on my list of things to do. A woman's work is never done, right? We met our new neighbors the other day, which is kind of funny because pandemic. We're in this very deliberately rural kind of neighborhood. I mean, I feel like it's unfair to call it rural because it's not like it's farms. Um, and even though there are some horse properties, they're not where we are. It's simply houses on uh, we're all on like an acre and a half and all really nicely positioned so we don't stare into each other's windows. So this is like our second nearest neighbor. Our nearest neighbor is kind of like out the back, and we don't have windows facing that way, but very close on that end. And then these folks are sort of, we can see them from our house, but they're off to the side, and the view is off this way. But that house has been occupied by several different people during our tenure here, and it was empty for a while, and then people moved in just before Christmas. And so, I'd sort of observed their comings and goings and feeling like I should probably go say hello, but global pandemic. And also, let's face it, I don't know that I would have anyway. Am I a terrible I'm a terrible human being, aren't I? Um, I saw Fiona Lowe, who writes, these days she's writing women's fiction, and she lives in Australia, and she's a delightful person. And she and her husband and son came and stayed with us for a couple of nights a few years ago when they were touring New Mexico. But Fiona had posted something about their new neighbors and how they had dropped off a note, like flowers and a note saying, looking forward to getting to know you when the pandemic's over and we can. And I thought, oh, Fiona's really nice. Just not like me. I could have left a note. Uh, but so the other day, we were I didn't finish though. I had sort of observed them coming and going, and it looked like kind of a young family. And they put up Christmas decorations. I could see their Christmas tree, and it was pretty. And I could see a young person leaping about inside. And then I thought for sure that the woman was pregnant. I thought I saw a pregnant silhouette. And then later we saw people walking a baby stroller up the road. So I was like, aha, I am sleuthy. I am not a friendly neighbor, but I am sleuthy. So the other day we were taking an afternoon walk. It was a pretty afternoon, and we were coming up the road, and we saw that a couple of them were out in the front yard. They've been really clearing up the brush. You'd be interested in that, in that, Mom, because you know how it's really gotten kind of overgrown over there. And so they're really doing a whole lot cleaning it up, doing a really great job. So it'll be lovely. And so we stopped to say hello because we're friendly neighbors, and we all had our masks on and everything. So it was nice to meet them, and met the husband and the little girl who was the leaping creature, and then the father was there too, and then the wife came out and with the little infant and said hello too. And I told her that I said, well, we've sort of been seeing you, sorry we haven't been over to say hello, and we're your neighbors in the house right there. And they're like, oh, you're right there. I'm like, oh, that's us up here. And I said, I was impressed that you like moved houses, did Christmas, and had a baby. And she's like, yeah, I was impressed too. She might have still been in shock. So anyway, it was I don't know. It's feeling like we're getting to talk to people again. Isn't that funny? It's things are opening up. I saw that Meow Wolf is opening on March 19th. Cowgirl is open again. But yeah, Meow Wolf, which has been closed since for like a year, they are reopening, meeting all of the health restrictions. So yeah, but it's interesting because I think when all of this started, when the lockdown started, we thought that we had to like get through those couple weeks, right? We thought, oh, let's get through these, 2, 3 weeks of lockdown and then it'll be over. And even though the experts were warning that it wasn't going to work that way, um, and I think over time we got used to the idea that it was just not going to simply end. It's, you guys know what I'm saying? That we thought maybe it's because we're accustomed to stories and that there's a definitive ending. It's over and then you leave the movie theater, or it's over and you close the book. Um, and this is a thing that will not have a definitive ending. It just is a gradual lessening, uh, with, persistent danger, I guess. David was telling me, I didn't see this, but that like 30% of Americans still don't want to get the vaccine for whatever misguided reason. So they're actually doing advertising to convince people to take the vaccine, which is good because, that's been one of the problems, is that the messaging from the beginning was completely messed up. And you have to counter messaging with messaging, right? So I'm trying to think, do I have anything else to tell you? I don't really. I know I had some things on my mind, but they have fled. They have fled through the leaky sieve of my brain. I don't think even anyone has asked me questions like it feels like it's been a very quiet week. Does it seem that way to you guys? I mean, I've not been getting many emails, not many comments on things on social media. A lot of times people ping me and ask me questions, and I haven't been seeing that. So, oh, I know one thing I wanted to tell you was that I had asked Nalini Singh if she wanted to read Dark Wizard and if she would give it a shout out. And so, for those of you who were worried that maybe it was Nalini who had been unkind to me, it was not, because Nalini replied and said that she doesn't really read fantasy romance anymore. She said she cycled out of it. She read a lot of C.L. Wilson stuff and cycled out again. I think it's so interesting how we cycle in and out of genres. But she said she hadn't read it, but that she knows that her readers are always looking for fantasy romance. So she gave it a shout out on Twitter, and I was very grateful for that. So, yeah, all right. I'm just going to head into my day and my busy weekend. I hope you all are having productive times and that things are going well for you. If you have neighbors, I hope you are interacting with them in the way that you prefer. uh, all of these things, sometimes I feel like I should be a better this or that, be a better neighbor. But what can I say? I'm usually like, don't bug me, I have to write this book all the time. So, okay. I'll remind you all that First Cup of Coffee is part of the Frolic Media Podcast Network, and you will find more podcasts you love at frolic.media/podcasts. And I will talk to you all on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.